take and all the nutritional supplements and things and food. So it was done that way, and it was done smart that way. And as far as the conditioning part, it was done on the track and in the swimming pool and in the boxing gym and sparring. So very traditional ways to get in shape, So
do you think you saw what you were looking for from a physical standpoint?
Absolutely.
All the improvements you guys were looking for?
You can see it in the explosions. You can see it in the footwork and in the spins that he couldn't do the first fight. And the first fight he couldn't do that because his hand was broken and we couldn't get surgery to take out the plate and the screws that were ailing him every time he punched. So the first fight we could only run. You couldn't spar, you couldn't hit bags, you couldn't hit mitts because it was excruciating. The pain would shoot up all the way to his shoulder. So when you're untested like it was in the first fight, you can't pass on an opportunity to take this fight and show the world that you are a fighter. So that fight happened. Now we get the rematch. We got in great shape. He'll sleep good tonight because he knows he left nothing in the ring. It was just, again, maybe the referee lets him keep fighting, and maybe the referee says, "Okay, you're good to go," and gives him 8 seconds, and maybe it happens in the next round, but maybe it doesn't. So, but you'll never know, and that's.
And it's also hard to think about the future. But considering the state of the heavyweight picture, who do you think is a good opponent for him? Would you consider an Usyk? Would you consider someone in the top 5?
Yeah, anybody. Lewis has never said no to anybody. He always so this is how it works with Lewis's promoters or manager. Hey Jay, you want? Yes. You didn't even know? Yes. Okay. Yes.
Who would you like to see him fight?
Anybody there. Winner of Joshua, the loser of Joshua and Ruiz. Anybody in the top 5. That's who he needs to fight. This is the best heavyweight on the planet, Deontay Wilder, by far. He might even be the best heavyweight on the moon if there's boxing on the moon. So if you can do that to the best heavyweight, you're just getting stopped like everyone else. So why not anyone else?
Did you say the personality of a boxer matters when you work with them? Personality
For me, yes.
Someone like Under Ruiz that has very special personality in that heavyweight. What do you think of a guy?
I don't know Andy Ruiz's personality, so I couldn't speak on it. But I go by that. I go by how we definitely he is as a human being. You know how he is as a man, because that tells you a lot about his character. And if his character is strong, then you can get into the trenches and dig with him, and you can ask him for things that potentially are going to get him killed, and he's not going to second guess what you're asking him to do if his character is strong, because he's going to give you those things. And it's not me being picky or selfish or demanding or any of that. Is being in the sport as long as I've been through a lot of different scenarios where at the end you still get to the same place, but you don't have the same kind of guy. It doesn't end the same way.
Can you watch well the first half of the fight? I mean, his condition looked superb. He was landing on the champion. Did he seem to tire after the midway point of the fight?
No, I think the 5th or maybe the 6th round, he got a little bit tired. Went to take a break, and I think maybe that's the round he got caught. It was the 7th, right? The 7th round. So maybe the 6th round he got a little tired, and in the 7th round he just relaxed a little bit. You can't relax on Deontay. That's when he takes advantage.
I'm sorry. People are going to spend a lot of time talking about Deontay's power in this fight, seeing how he caught Ortiz with such a bomb. But can you speak on Wilder's chin a little bit? He took a lot of shots from Ortiz today that might have hurt a lot of.
When you're in shape, you can take those shots. And like I said, Lewis, was definitely hurt, and he got up. He was in good shape. So it shows you that you're in shape. When his chin is probably underrated. Yeah, I mean he took some big shots and not super flush, but these were set up shots. That would have probably knocked anyone else out.
A lot of other heavyweights, I feel, would have if they were.
Well, Lewis has hit a few people with those same shots and they went out. So when you set them up the way he did, when you get behind the jab, you squat, you come under, you come over. Those are shots you don't really see coming, and he managed to withstand them. So, nothing but respect for Wilder and the preparation he did. He took it seriously. He's going to fight Lewis. If he fights him 100 times, he's going to take him seriously 100 times. He can be 100 and he'll still take him seriously.
As a trainer, how do you make Ortiz kind of go for the pressure a little bit more, try to end the fight a little sooner? See if you're saying fatigue might have came in the 5th or 6th round. Moving forward, how do you have Ortiz kind of make sure the fights end maybe a little bit sooner?
That really wasn't the game plan here in this particular fight, because Wilder does a fantastic job of evading and jumping and pushing off, and he's 6'6", 6'7", and his head goes, when he pulls away, it's like 7 feet tall at that point. So, Lewis is only 6'4", so it wasn't the right game plan to try and do that. The game plan was body attack, angles, set up from down to up. So, you know, maybe somebody else, more Lewis's size or just a little bit bigger. But, you know, it's just the wrong guy, the different. Some guys, you know, you don't really need a game plan. Like you said, you just, all right, let them go at them, take them out, you know. You got one round to get the job done. This is an elite level, you know, and the championship fight, and he's defended it 10 times, and he's a world champion. So you got to use your head a little bit. You got to work your way into the knockout, and that's what we're doing. I'm sure he would have caught a second win, 7th and 8th, and had no issue. But you know, it's unfortunate.
I'm sure he's hear the crowd change his name. You know, the first half.
Oh no, I don't think he heard any of that or paid attention to that. He says that he only hears my voice, you know, when we're in the corner. Most fighters will tell you the same thing, you know.
Were you surprised by the support of the arena? Because it seems to be more for him than for Wilder.
No, I'm not surprised that people love Lewis and start, you know, to really, I mean, he's a guy that's giving you an honest, you know, assertion of himself. He's letting you into his life. He's open book. He's going to try to fight. He's not going to lay down. He's not going to quit. He's not going to, you know, look for an excuse to not fight. He's going to fight, and that's what the fans want, and that's what people want, is somebody that's coming in there and is going to fight and is going to really either go out swinging or get the knockout, and that's what he does.
Do you believe in your heart that at some point Ortiz will be able to capture a heavyweight title?
You know, if in fact Deontay unifies it, you know, if it doesn't take another 3 years to do so, you never know. They may free up an IBF. They may, you know, a version of it. There's so many titles. There's 4 titles. It's possible, yeah. But you know, we've talked about it, and I think, you know, if it can happen in the next 1.5 to 2 years, then yeah, he can still do it. He's 40. But trust me when I tell you what he's doing in the gyms, what he's doing on the tracks, he's doing what 30-year-olds are doing, if not outdoing them. Just, you know, the cameras aren't there to capture that. But I see it, you know, and I wouldn't be obviously standing here before you and selling you a bag of goods if I didn't think that we could do what we just did for 7 rounds, you know. Just.
Would you like to see him fight Usyk?
I think, you know, I mean, if it's a money fight, if it's a big fight, you know, I mean, I think Usyk has to prove himself a little bit in the heavyweight division first, you know. I mean, great cruiserweight, but you got to do something in the heavyweight first, and then, you know, before he gets into the, you know, likes of like the bigger guys, you know. And
What did Luis tell you about the actual punch that
he didn't even see it. He didn't even see it. You know, he kind of slipped to check maybe like one of the wild ones that Wilder throws, and he was like checking that, and it came right in, and he didn't even see it. You know, and so you can't defend it when you can't see it.
What did you think about the count? Did you think it was like
the count was? Listen, you know, the ref. You can't blame him. You know, I mean, he probably thought in his head, I have no clue what time it is. Wilder can come in here and do a lot of damage. Let me just stop it now. That's A. But B could have been, he knew that the hammer had hit, and there was maybe about 7 seconds left. Give the 2 guys that deserve, you know, a shot to really, really, really finish it definitively.
Right.
He got up. So, you know, it can go both ways. I understand both. I prefer the second.